All right, guys, here we are back on the Knives Fast channel, and these two knives are nearly exact copies of two premium knives, and they're only 60 bucks. The good news is it's a company copying themselves. This is the Tenable Knives Ray and the Model 6. Now, these were both Kansept knives designs in premium materials, and now you can get them for $60 or less, and in this case, a little bit less. So let's jump into these and check these out. These are proven designs that are really, really good, but now in mini budget versions. So the top one is the Kansept Ray in black micarta and 14C with this awesome aggressive blade. Really, really cool. And the bottom one here is the Tenable Model 6. Again, both of these have been full Kansept knives versions, and now Kansept is copying themselves and making Tenable versions. I am all on board with this. So copies are great if they're by the same company, but if it's a clone and somebody's ripping them off, I'm not on board with that. But anyway, just having a little fun there. So let's jump right in. Which one would you guys like to start with? Yeah, let's see if I hear you. Okay, Tenable Ray. So the Ray, I saw two different versions of this in titanium. And I want to say there was two, they were about $250 each, S35 VN, something like that. Kansept Maker is the designer. Now let's just start off right off the bat. These are $56 or $57, depending on what you're looking for. This particular one is actually $57.50. You do have the micarta with the dimpled handles. You have a liner lock with full proud liners here. Not proud, sorry. Full liners that are even. And 14C on that crazy looking, kind of drop point, kind of spear point. I'm not sure what you want to call that, but there is a green micarta version, a black micarta version, and a blue micarta version. Now, this one is in stonewash. Really, really cool. Let's jump in to the specs on this one, and then we'll talk about some of the ins and outs. It's 7.5 inches, 7.48 to be exact, with a 3.3-inch blade, 0.12-inch blade stock, nice and thin, thumb studs, and a flipper tab. Of course, stonewash 14C, and they call it a modified spear point, which absolutely works, 3.88 ounces. Kansept Maker is the designer, and this particular one is $57.50. Now, you have good access to that lock bar. You do not have a chamfer. You will see when they do the Tenable knives, they kind of don't do some of the things that they do to clean knives up when they're a full price knife. Now, you do have your relief inside. You do have a little bit of milling for weight reduction inside. Open construction with just 2 barrel spacers, and of course the pocket clip sits on top. No problems with this clip for me, and it is reversible. Now let's close this so we don't cut ourselves. Tiny bit sticking out. When we're closed, we look to be off to the show side just a little bit. This is a pass around knife. Probably just needs a little tightening, but again, I don't do that with reviews. Now, you do not have jimping on the flipper tab, but it's got a really good shape to it. So we'll flip it open. You can see very good detent. Very good detent. Can I middle finger flick it off the studs? Yes, I can. You have a flat grind about halfway up, swedge up here, flats here, stonewash finish. When we're locked up at about 20. Hello there. And we have no up and down, no lock rock, the tiniest little bit of play, and I'm guessing that has something to do with this being off center. If we tighten this up, that play would probably go away as well. Now, cutting wise, this guy, I mean, I broke down boxes for recycling with this yesterday, and it was a joy. This thing is an absolute fantastic cutter. Now, for those of you concerned about the stud being in the way, it is kind of in there. By the way, you have good sharpening relief. Great, well done sharpening choil. For me, as you can see, look at my cuts. They go this direction diagonal because I'm holding the knife. My thumb rests right here and I'm holding the knife like this. So to me, that cut even back here is going to go like this. So, you know, it's up to you what you think about that. Squared off handles, not contoured, but very nice chamfer. 4-finger grip all the way down. Great place to land, nowhere to choke up. Don't feel crammed against that flipper tab. Feels really, really nice. So that is the Tenable Ray, and we will come back to that in our comparisons. Now we have the Model 6. Now, this is a liner lock, so again, we have that great detent. My first problem with the 6 in this configuration, I think the original was also a bar lock, is it's a bar lock, which means you're dependent on that spring, and we've got this different shaped thumb stud here, and what that gives us is a kind of lazy deployment. Can I middle finger flick it? Sure I can. Does it shake out? No, not really, which is great. So again, it's decent. Just again, bear in mind that you're not going to get the same pop that you get with this guy because again, it's being held back by springs, not a real detent. You do have the liners again. Now, let's just jump right in and say the thing that the elephant in the room here. I hate this carbon fiber. I love this knife. There are other versions like micarta, but this particular one is what they're calling twill carbon fiber. I am 90% sure that this is overlaid laminate carbon fiber over top of G10. Not something I like. It is slick. It looks shiny and slick. It just looks cheap. I don't particularly care for this at all. I love the grind of this blade. I love the satin finish. I love that low tip for cutting. I like the 4-finger grip you get from this knife, the little spot to choke up here, the great spot to land. A little bit of jimping back here, but not really useful for me because I'm landing up here no matter what I do. But really, really nice indeed. We are centered on this one and we come way out to the end. When we're locked up, no blade play or rock. And this guy is a fantastic cutter. These are so good. They're so good for $60. Even if, you know, if you're a person that likes bar locks, you're probably going to love this. Now, it's a little more awkward because we don't have a stud. We have this thing, but I've gotten used to it. It is not a problem for me at all. Yep, I can middle finger flick it. Again, great 4-finger grip. Clip is pretty deep carry, a tiny bit sticking out. It is reversible. Again, sits on there, no problem. Good clip for me. Carries very nicely. You do have a lanyard slot in the back spacer, and you do have some weight reduction. And let's do our stats on this one, if you will. Again, the Ray was $57.50. This one is in this configuration is sold out, but it's $56.89. Now it's a Nick Swan design, by the way. And this one is also 14C, if I didn't say that. But there is a black micarta version, a jade G10 version. There is a blue micarta version. All those are in stock. I will leave links to both of these down below. But just to make sure we get the weight exactly what we are on the one I have, let's start there. 7.47 inches overall with a 3.1 inch blade. 0.157 on the blade stock. So a little bit thicker than the Ray, but you can see high flat grind gives you a very nice cut. 4.06 ounces, made in China, designed by Nick Swan. Very, very cool. $56.89. There you go. Now, let's see here. They are pretty much exactly the same length. So that means the Ontario Rat 1 is going to be longer. Yep. And the Ontario Rat 2 is going to be either about the nut's going to be shorter. Just a little bit smaller there. Really interesting comparisons indeed. So, what do you guys think of these? I'm grateful the Kansept or Tenable sent these along to Lefty so that we could check these out on the channel. Let me get some of this cardboard out of here. And there is your look at the Tenable Ray and the Tenable Model 6, both under 60 bucks. Really, really cool indeed. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, definitely like, comment, let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell to all, and thanks for watching the Knives Fast channel.